canis species, also called canines. Here you see them in their natural habitat. It's only been a small time that man has dominated over this animal. For 1 million years, the canine species prospered in the more natural regions of the earth. But eventually man discovered the almost magical superior abilities of the canine species. That's when everything changed. That was 14,000 years ago. That's when man took the animal prisoner and brought him here to serve his life sentence. In the cities of man, where he would be forced to serve mankind no different than a slave that will probably never know freedom again. When compared to the life that they would have out in nature, the life they have here in human world, it's almost perverse. They have become our pets. They are enslaved to us now. We only look at them for their usefulness as companions. Yes, we fall in love with them, but it's not a real love. It's all about us. We look at it, what can the animal do for us? We forget that the animal has its own natural desires. We immerse it in our world, and it doesn't understand. It doesn't even get to be what nature had designed it to be. But we've been doing this for so long that it's become automatic to us. We don't even realize that we are enslaving one of God's creatures. But that's what we've always done. We look at animals as how they can be useful to us, with very little thought given to what is best for the animal. One way we control the animal to get them to do what we want them to do is through controlled starvation. A hungry animal will do just about anything for food in order to survive. There is no limit to the burdens we place on the dog. We pretend that the animal does our bidding because it wants to. This is fiction. Dogs, like other animals, perform services for us for food. A well-fed or adequately fed dog does not perform tricks. It has no incentive. It's become so common for us to control dogs this way, through starvation, that we don't even notice it anymore. But this is something that every pet owner denies. In fact, we would rather believe that the animal is better off as our property, that we provide the best life to the animal. This too is fiction. Domesticated dogs are forced to live in a human's world. They are not entertained by the same things as us. Our world is not only unnatural to them, it's just not fun. Every dog, by default, is unhappy, just as we'd be unhappy if the situation were reversed. The dogs can't communicate to us. We'd like to think that they can, but we fail to see even the most common emotion, misery, a constant misery with only a few moments of relief here and there. But it is not only our pets that we have cast doom upon. Our pets are actually the lucky ones. For strays, life is hell. Any domestic dog not claimed by an owner is for some reason condemned to death. We kill them. Over 11 million each year. As for the lucky ones who are imprisoned in our world, are they happy? One close look answers that question. We pretend they can communicate with us. If only they could. So how can human beings be so insensitive? There's really only one way. Denial. Denial that requires ignorance and plain stupidity. They do their best to adapt to an upside-down world. And they try to discover what is here for them, what's their role. Eventually they learn that there's nothing here for them. They're just here to serve. And it's an empty world. It's unnatural, and they are unhappy. Where people see that they are doing dogs a favor and providing care for them, they fail to see that they actually put the dog last in their life, behind their family, behind their job, behind their cars, their clothes. In our everyday routines, we think of everything except for the dog. The dog's the last thing on our mind. He's on his own. When we eat like kings. Yet we give our dog kibbles. We don't even know what's in it. And every meal that we have, we eat to our satisfaction until we're full.
But when was the last time our pet got to eat until he was full? And day after day, it's the same crap. And they know it's crap, but they have no choice. When we do feed them our food, we put no thought into it. It's not healthy for them, it's not natural. Our dogs would almost be better off as strays, but they have a little freedom to gather their own food. And when we do feed them, we're poisoning them with food that's unnatural for them. Then we wonder why they're so hungry, why they want our food. Our food is not ideal for them at all, yet it's better than what they're getting. When we go to the grocery store, we don't think of our dog and what we should be buying him, and we should be. Instead, we starve our animals. We give them commercial dog food. Commercial meaning that there's a company that wants to get a profit. What do? They put corn, the most common grain in America, in the food. Corn is good for human beings. It's not good for dogs. They don't eat it naturally. It's not something they can naturally digest well. And we don't even give them the real corn. We give them corn byproduct cob. What a dog is supposed to be having is red meat. We give them cattle hooves. We also give them rice when they should be having steaks, fish, and raw chicken. That's what a dog's body is designed to eat and absorb the nutrition. But instead we give it all the parts we wouldn't eat and that have very little nutrition. We even give them chicken feathers and corn husks, anything that can be ground up and made into those kibbles, which is just about anything. And these things just barely keep the animal alive. It's all done out of convenience for us and profit for the corporations. No consideration is given to the dog. And this bland collection of food byproducts is injected with protein and meat fat for flavoring. And though they are animals that were meant to gorge and then not eat for several days afterwards, instead they graze every day. And they eat this nonsense. And it makes them fat, low energy. There's a reason why dogs make such good pets. It's because they tolerate us. They take just about anything we can throw at them and still manage to wag their tail and be pleasant. But as I mentioned before, dogs are intelligent, and they know they're being mistreated. They're such a smart animal. We're learning more all the time. Just how smart they are. Unlike us. We have long been exploiting the dog for our own needs, our own desires. And we continue to do it to this day. They're still considered our property. But when you look at their ability and their tolerance of human beings. They are a majestic creature. They are far superior to man in many ways.